Ho ho, me hearties! A very good evening to you. A dinky do. 10 o'clock Saturday night, of course. Scottie McClue with the internet phone-in, the international internet phone-in. And a very, very warm welcome to every single one of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Tremendous stuff. Now, we are live, big style, on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We are live on LinkedIn Live. And, of course, we're live on Facebook. How good is that? 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock Saturday night, and a very big dinky-do to every single one of you. Welcome, 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 I say. Now, who we got here? Yes, sir, I can boogie, says Suzanne. Tremendous stuff. How you doing, Scotty boy? Says Matt. Matt Hodgman, lovely to have you with us, and a very big dinky-do to you. How amazing is this? Hello, Scotty, how are you? Says Luxury Cars. On TikToks, the TikTokers have joined us live, and here we go. Now, we'll be off to the telephone shortly. Evening all. Excellent evening. Lovely to have you with us. I shall just check what's happening in terms of the telephones. See who's on here and what is what. That's what it's all about, I say. There we go. And we'll get the old phones going here for you. Wonderful stuff. Right. That should be working now. You're live at Scottish Phone In. Who's that? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Who's that?
You happy with the Scotland result?
The Scotland result, what was it?
3-2 Scotland.
3-2 for Scotland.
Yes.
That's pretty dinky-do, isn't it? Excellent stuff. I thank you. How amazing is that? You're live on Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
It's Kareem Scotty. How are we?
Kareem, excellent stuff. I haven't obviously seen the game, so I was just checking what was going on there. Good evening, says everybody, by the way, on TikTok.
Hello, TikTokers.
The TikTokers. This is Kareem.
Hi, Scotty. How we doing?
I noticed you were in, was it Bits Park?
I was at Bits Park and I was at the reservoir as well. I have had a great day, but I am beyond raging, shall I say, in a Scottish way. Scotty,
right, beyond rage.
Because I've been given a ticket.
Now, Kareem, for parking?
Yes.
Now, what did you and I talk about the other night?
Correct.
Yes.
But what baffles me, Scotty, is I have got a parking permit and it was on the dashboard, and beside the dashboard on the outside was the ticket. So,
right. Now, did you also have you taken a photo of this?
I've took pictures of the permit, I've took pictures of the ticket beside it.
Good.
Everything. So I'm going to appeal it on Monday. I can't do anything about it just now.
No, but definitely appeal that, Kareem, and say that you're visiting Carlisle and you'd already discussed this, you'd taken every precaution. Did you have your disc? Well, we'll not go into all that. You'll know if you had your disc or not, and all that sort of thing. So, if you appeal that, I think you should be okay. A nice letter from a gentleman like yourself and explaining, just how much you appreciate Carlisle and you would never ever break any regulations. And, could they please, find out exactly what was the cause of the ticket?
Yes, I'll do that on Monday. As you can imagine, it did damper my...
Well, yes, but it mustn't. It mustn't. It's a parking ticket. And, the wizard that gave you it maybe just didn't know what was going on, didn't understand, something like that. Somebody new to the job, maybe they've had to, you know what I mean? It could be anything, but having said that, you're not in the wrong, you're in the right. It doesn't dampen your weekend, and it doesn't make one whit of difference because you'll not be needing to pay it.
Yes, that's the way I'm going to think about it.
That's the way to think.
My next comment
is
going to be a little bit controversial.
Right.
It's to make people think.
Well, we're no strangers to controversy on here, as you know, Kareem.
I'll need to watch how I'm going to work this. It's nothing to do with the royal family from that, so don't worry about that. My observation here coming down, and I need to think I'm going to work this. Basically, I am noticing there is very big divides. I remember you speaking the other day about the class system.
Yes.
Is in England and what does not appear to be in Scotland. Now, when I've been down here quite a lot, I'm going to be honest and I'll be polite. I'm noticing there's quite a lot of people that are not academic, are quite thick, don't have common sense, to be blunt.
Right. Well, common sense is not very common.
Well,
you know, that's all right. Carry on.
Sorry. So my point that I wanted to put towards was that when you look at what the Conservative government done years ago when they started charging for education down here for
Yes.
£10,000 a year, you're dumbing down society because people can't afford nearly 30 grand of debt, and that's just for one sibling.
Exactly.
So education in Scotland, as you know, is free at any stage. And how do you make a society better? You educate it. So
correct.
Now you can see a massive divide.
So they should not be screwing the people for an education. Education for all has been the mantra and the watchword all the way through. Do you remember Robert Owen, Kareem? Does that ring a bell?
The name does. Yes.
Robert Owen will ring a bell. Robert Owen was, first, when you had the Reformation in the 1500s, John Knox wanted a school in every parish. Now, that's 500 years ago. Then in the 1800s, you had people like Robert Owen who introduced New Lanark as a model, believing that if people were happy, then you would get much better work from them. And obviously he was interested in looking after their offspring as well. So they had a school. And up to the age of 7, it was only singing, songs, dancing and marching. No books. You see, because he wanted happy children. Now, Scotland has always pushed for a free education for all. And what does Scotland have? The best education system in the world. And then suddenly to hit somebody, as you say, with a 30 grand debt, that's just stealing from the poor. You know, and people are not going to be able to do the work properly. I mean, I was very lucky, and I think this was the result of several successive Labour governments since 1948. But I was able to get a 4-year grant. 4 years of grant. Now, it wasn't huge money, but you could get by if you were canny. Glasgow University, I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have a Monday holiday, and that was known as Meal Monday, when the students all went home for another bag of oatmeal for their porridge to see them through the term.
Right, okay.
You see? So it's always been a huge thing, Kareem. You are pushing at an open door here.
I'm just seeing it from experience, Scotty, because I'm just thinking, wow, and I'm walking the dogs here, I'm seeing kids and such a massive divide, the way that they're talking, the way that they're dressing, the way that they're acting, and I'm just, it's nice, I think it's good that, what annoys me with a lot of people in Scotland is they really don't appreciate what we have and what's in place. And
this is it. And I think a lot of young people themselves don't work anything like as hard as they should to get themselves a tertiary education.
Correct. Yeah.
And even a secondary education.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they've got excellent teachers and excellent educational facilities. And you know yourselves, I mean, young people can smash things up and break things up when they've been given them for nothing.
Yes, and then it just gets replaced, no questions asked.
And I mean, if you were to go out to the likes of East Africa, West Africa, South Africa, and have a look, India, Pakistan, and have a look at how the children can't wait to get to their schools.
Yep, to be educated, to learn, and to take it home and share it with their families.
Yes.
I think it's just different ways of upbringing and culture. If you look, and I think this is UK-wide, not just, what's the difference between England and Scotland.
Yeah.
And you'll know this, Scotty, when you were younger, if you done something bad, your mum or dad would give you a wee slap in the head, right, what have you done? Nowadays, what's the teacher done? It's just a change. It's the opposite now.
But a change of it, no, because, I mean, they're not owning their children.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
that's the whole thing. And, and I mean, really, the parents should be saying to the teachers, listen, terribly sorry that they've been a nuisance. And is there anything we can do together?
Yeah. Well, that was my opinion, Scotty, overall about...
Well, there's Suzanne asking a very interesting question, Kareem. I'll put it up on the screen. That's from Suzanne. Do you see it in front of you? And what she's saying is, I wonder how many children from Glasgow actually get into Glasgow Uni.
I do think, I know each university has to take a certain amount of children from disadvantaged areas. I've forgotten the actual terminology for it, so I do think that the opportunity is there. I would be asking that question not of Glasgow University, but of...
They have to take a quota from a cohort.
Yeah. I'd be asking what would be St Andrews. I know from hearing head teachers speaking as well, they're more wanting kids that have the qualifications, not for St Andrews, but for Oxford, for Cambridge.
Yes.
That would be the big push as well.
Well, you see, Scottish universities are actually the best. I mean, I know England's got Oxford and Cambridge. Scotland had 4 universities when England had 2.
Mm-hmm. Was Glasgow not voted the best there?
Glasgow's outstanding anyway. I mean, I'm not saying that just because it's my alma mater.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not in any way biased, but Glasgow is an outstanding university.
I was Strathclyde and West of Scotland.
Strathclyde outstanding as well. West outstanding as well. All excellent.
Yeah, I do think our universities are growing. You've got really good ones out in Edinburgh as well, Aberdeen.
Yes.
Big one in Dundee.
Yes.
So I think...
Well, you've got 2 in Dundee, haven't you? You've got Dundee and Abertay.
Abertay is a small one. I did go there briefly, but at the time I wasn't impressed with their sports course there.
Well, we'll not be knocking individual courses because people have different requirements,
Yes, yeah. But overall, I felt Dundee's a very rich city. I liked the big university there. I had friends that were there at the time when I studied there very briefly. And the big university, the big one was really good. But I was just thinking about earlier on, Scotty, for tonight, that what I'm seeing down here and the impact this has.
If you can see a class divide, then there's something very wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it should be free for everybody.
Correct.
Not just for you've got.
That's what we're paying our tax for.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. I just thought, you'll probably have some English callers. We could ask Derek his opinion on this one.
Yes. Derek, if Derek stays on long enough without hanging up and panicking.
Yes, or anybody else. But it'd be just interesting to see other people's point of view towards this. And I mean, if it's not even education, look at you're going to your doctor. I think down here you need to pay for your prescriptions. I'm not sure if you...
I'm wondering if Carlisle would like to join us in Scotland, Carlisle and Newcastle. And I've always wondered about Manchester, Liverpool and Leeds and Hull.
Yeah.
I think they would all enjoy being Scots.
You never know, if we get the referendum, then there might be that opportunity.
We shall see what is what. A joy talking to you, Kareem. Have a lovely holiday. Forget the parking ticket. We'll sort all that out next week.
I'll speak to you Monday. Dinky do.
I look forward to it. Dinky do, la. Lovely to hear you. That's our Kareem. Fantastic. Wonderful stuff. You're live on Scotty's Phone In, Dinky do.
Hiya, Scotty. Dinky do.
Hey, Glenn, I've just had Betty Joe saying, good caller, that guy.
Nice one. Yeah.
Nice one. How are you tonight, sir? Nice to hear you.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks yourself.
Yeah, excellent. First class. Last night...
First time I didn't watch you last night for a couple of episodes, Scotty, and you've done 2 shows in one.
2 shows in one last night. What about that? Part 1 and part 2?
Was that 2 callers per episode then?
Yeah, well, what was... Well, no, I mean, you could have come on with another call, I think.
So you could have phoned up twice on one, then twice on another? Then?
You could indeed, Glenn, yes. I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
Did anybody take it up, Scott?
No, they didn't. There's Skid saying, Dinky-doo, Scotty, you legend that you are. Scotty, I'm upset with Republicans over here with how they're behaving, says LaHoop. I wondered if you were in America, but you're in Ireland. Aha.
So what do you reckon then? Do you reckon parts of England could join up with Scotland then?
Well, I think it'd be quite nice. I mean, I think that Lancashire and Yorkshire would thoroughly enjoy being Scottish, along with Cumberland and Northumberland.
Sounds interesting, Scott.
Yeah.
Scotty, there'd be one or two people that'd be a bit against it, and one or two people that'd be for it.
There'd be one or two against. There always is, but they need to start giving us reasons, Glenn. You see, if McClue says something, you'll notice I always give you a reason.
You do. What's your reasons behind it, Scott?
We're behind that because I think that the values that Scotland holds would be acceptable, very more than acceptable, to the north of England.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Would that be the same with the government then, Scotty, do you reckon?
Yeah, the Scottish government, you would get that in as well, because you see, although your Yorkshire people, a lot of them did vote Tory, I would bet they're deeply regretting it now.
Definitely, yeah.
You know?
Like I said, it surprises me, to be honest. The way
well, it really did surprise me, the thoughts of Sheffield and Barnsley people voting for a Conservative government.
The majority, yeah.
You know, I mean, very, very strange. But I think they'll be regretting it now. And it was the old xenophobia that took us out of Europe.
The governments aren't what they used to be, regardless of which party you vote for. Though, this guy, to be honest,
hey, I'm being asked. No, I'm being asked, is that a piano behind me? Can you see a piano in your picture?
To be honest, Scotty, no.
No, I can't. You know, there is a piano behind me, but I'm just wondering what he's actually seeing. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. If I move to the side, and what I'd done was, I think I'd gone down. Can you see some? Yeah. You see it now?
Yeah.
That's it. That's what it is. What about this one? Here we go. Tell me what you reckon about this. Here we go. I got into a heated row with a Scot. This is LaHoop in Ireland. I got into a heated row with a Scot over Scottish independence. Also, I was called a traitor for saying independence under the crown is the best solution. LaHoop, the last thing you are is a traitor.
Scotty, what difference does it make, to be honest, what people think, innit?
Well, it does, you see. I think it's very important because the problem is, Glenn, you think of yourself. You're on the phone in now, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, you think of the people during all these lockdowns that were sitting there, had a lot to say, and there was nowhere to say it.
Correct.
You see? And because we've got the phone in, now you can at least say it. Whether or not anybody will pay attention to it, I don't know.
I think Gary's been a bit cheeky and he's got a...
Yes. Yes, I think absolutely, yes. There's quite a lot of that.
Has he rang up before?
Beachy's just sent me 10 beautiful TikToks. We need a tune on the squeeze box, Scotty.
Has Gary rang up before, Scotty, or not?
Has Gary rung up?
Yeah, Gary who's his grandpa.
What about his grandpa?
He says Gary Rees put Grandpa Scotty on there for some reason.
Oh, Grandpa Scotty. Oh, that's just probably an affectionate term, you know.
I hope so, Scotty.
It's not the worst thing I've been called, I'll tell you.
Scotty, you've been called worse then.
Oh, for goodness sake, there's LaHoop back. Thank you, Scotty. I found it very hurtful to be called a traitor because I'm certainly not. You certainly are not, LaHoop.
Scotty, we're all waiting in England tonight. What?
What about that, for goodness sake? What was the Scotland result, Glenn? Give us the Scotland result.
Scotland won 3-2 and England won 5-0.
So wait a minute, I'll just make a quick note because I didn't see it, you see.
Yeah,
and this makes me laugh because people think, for goodness sake, here's one of the most switched on people in the planet and he doesn't know the results of the football. But as you know, we don't do that.
But you've got a bit of controversy going tonight with this English-Scotland thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they know which way round to go, to be honest with you, some of these people.
Here's Westwall giving it dinky-doo, Scotty McClue. Do you remember me? How could I forget any of my people?
Scotty, I'm looking at it on YouTube channel, you know, from Chart.
Yes.
And there's some nonsense on there, trust me.
Is there nonsense on here? I'll have a look right now, Glenn. I've got it here in front of me. Let's see the chat.
You know, when they're talking nonsense, you can edit it and cancel it out. Like
I can if they're editing too much. How you doing, Scotty Dinky Doo, Matt?
Like I said, as long as everybody's got a plausible opinion, and we can have a good debate and a good discussion and have a good chat.
There's the wonderful Gordon Roddick. Hi, Scotty. You're just trying out my new mobile phone.
Scotty, you're the leader anyway. You've got to get an intel, aren't you?
Well, this is certainly on the move, isn't it? Let's have it straight.
Principal, Scotty, that's it.
That's what it's about. Glenn, lovely talking to you, and a big dinky do to you, la.
Scotty, what do you think, though, if you get one of two numpties come on, just get them as good as you can get in it, and
that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do, Glenn. Dinky do, la. See you, la. You take care. Top man. There we are, to the telephones. Now then, you're live at Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
Hi, it's Alistair.
Alistair, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you, Scotty?
Great. What's happening?
Nothing much. Yourself?
Oh, yes, busy man. Absolutely. Lots happening.
Yeah, usual.
What are you thinking about this Scottish education then, Alistair?
What a shite.
Whoops. There we are. Good evening. You're live at Scotty's Phone In. Who's that? Somebody panicked there. Wonderful. We love all that. There we go. Now then, Kareem, your experience of English education system based on a few trips to Carlisle is hardly representative. It isn't as bad as you're making out. There we are. Are you in the scullery, says James? Certainly not, James. You're live at Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
Ben Andrews. Fucking come on.
There we go. You're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that, Dinky Doo?
This is Derek.
Derek, now I hope you're not going to manage to hang up before you've made your point.
No, that Kareem is boring.
You need to learn to stay on, Derek.
And I am on.
Yes, you need to stay on and not panic and hang up.
I've got to say I enjoyed your last few shows.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Yes, because you've not had Davey on.
Oh, right. Well, that's very naughty of you. Davey's a nice guy.
He's boring. Listen, I think England have got the best universities. And what about this statue of Margaret Thatcher?
The statue of Margaret Thatcher. Well, I mean, England's universities have never been as good as Scotland's.
Oh, they have.
I mean, that's a fact. And the statue of Margaret Thatcher, it doesn't seem to be going down so well for some reason, but the people of Sheffield and Barnsley have been voting Tory, so they might want one.
Good.
I'll put it to them, Derek, and we'll see what's what, la.
Okay, well, there you go. Dinky Doo.
Dinky Doo, sir. Nice to hear you. Thank you for staying on. A statue of Margaret Thatcher, absolutely not. I'd be totally against that, Scotty. Aha. You're live at Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
Scotty, how you doing? It's Gary.
Gary, are you Dinky Doo?
Dinky Doo, like you probably see la la.
Dinky Doo, la la.
Scotty, I'll tell you what, you're a very busy man.
We're busy tonight.
Yeah, I've been trying to phone you since half an hour ago.
Half an hour, yeah, we've been very busy. It's just one call after another, Gary.
How are you doing, Scott? Anyway?
I'm fine, buddy. Things are good. We're building up the Phone In and everybody's loving it.
Yes, 5 weeks.
5 weeks tonight. What do you think?
Absolutely fantastic.
Shall we give it another 5 weeks?
I remember the first time.
Yep, you were in at the start.
Scott, I spoke to you years and years on Q96.
You did.
Remember?
Yes. A fine fellow and very interesting chats we had.
Yes, and Scott, guess what?
Go on.
I'm back on the cigarettes.
You naughty, naughty boy. Get off them.
I'm trying to come up with cigarettes, but...
We need you off the fags. You need to have a long and happy life with a long and happy chest.
Scott, this is what I'm happy with cigarettes and with
You get rid of the fags, lad. You and I will speak soon. Go on. Yes. You stick your tongue out and say ta-ta, ta-ta. There we go. Fantastic stuff. Now then, are you in the scullery? Are many residents from the Glasgow area? Oh, yes, we've done that one. All right, what's a lobby? Hey up, Scotty Dicky-Doo. Hello, everybody. Hi, Gary. Scotty, you're a hard man to phone. Yeah, but we're here, and we'll take your calls as soon as we can. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Hello? There we are, right. We haven't time for any half-wits. We need to get through the calls. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Good evening. Hello?
Good evening, Scotty.
Yep.
Scotty.
Who's that?
My name's Ryan. I live in Northern Ireland. I'm from Northern Ireland.
How lovely to hear you. What part are you from, Ryan?
I am just from a place called Nuts Corner, 5 minutes away from Belfast International Airport.
How beautiful. We love it. Yes, Belfast. Is it still called George Best International?
Yes, it's called George Best International Airport as well, yes.
It's fantastic because, Ryan, George Best and I shared the same agent.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, well, George is gone now, of course.
Yes, of course. He was a great football player before my time, unfortunately, but I do remember watching him.
And you'll have seen footage of him, you know, I mean, just incredible.
He had some sportsmanship when he was all there. Like,
when he was doing his stuff in Manchester.
Yes. I actually phoned in to actually talk about something quite different to what
Go on.
we're talking about.
No, listen, that's absolutely fine. That is never a problem.
I'm also, Scotty, a farmer.
Right.
I would actually transport livestock from Northern Ireland to Scotland and vice versa.
Yes.
And since January, I have had a lot of problems with the Northern Ireland Protocol.
With the protocol with Brexit. Brexit is a bad thing. And I worry away the North has been flung under a bus by Westminster.
Yeah.
And I think the problem, somebody put their finger absolutely on it. The government don't understand agrarian stuff.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean? They don't understand. See, if you think about it, and it doesn't matter what side you're on or what kind of this, that, and that. We don't bother with any of that here. So I'm just going to talk to you with the facts. And if you think about it, Britain used to make all of its money from the countryside, from the land, from farming, from animal and agriculture, husbandry. And then the House of Lords, the Labour Party cleared out a lot of the hereditary peers because they thought we don't see why somebody just by an accident of birth should become somebody that runs the country. The problem is a lot of these aristocrats had a lot of experience of how the land works.
Yes.
And we're now very short. They're so busy with glamour people and what have you that they've lost sight of what we do and how we go about it. And farming, after the foot and mouth thing, as you know, farming to a real good belting.
Oh, yes, we did indeed.
Now, also people were saying, oh, wait till we get out of Europe and all our own stuff. The thing is, Europe was actually very good for British agriculture.
Yeah, and the biggest problem that I have now at the minute, Scotty, is that I am getting more charges put onto my project to bring it from Northern Ireland to GB, because I'd be selling, my farm would actually be bringing Aberdeen Angus cattle from Northern Ireland into the mainland to be slaughtered, to be taken down to London to be sold to restaurants. And a lot of the GB costs that has been applied to me is wee silly things, but we're not talking about hundreds of pounds, we're actually talking about thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely ridiculous.
And I take it that if this goes on unchecked, it could be a serious threat to your business.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah.
It will be, and
Now that's unacceptable because you guys work so hard, you can do without the anxiety.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about you today, believe it or not. Don't panic, not you personally, but I was thinking about rural crime. I was thinking about the cost of machinery, the cost of maintenance of machinery, the fact that, I mean, here's another one for you. I've heard that some of the farmers are having to bury wool, send it to landfill because it's not worth the money.
Well, Scott, I actually work in British Wool Marketing Board. We would actually, I have another wee part-time job during the summer with them boys, and we actually sort it and grade it and sell it on.
Good.
And to be quite honest with you, we took a dip. The price of wool took a big dip back in the COVID times, but starting to pick up now.
Good.
But one thing I've seen is people are trying to burn it with diesel.
Right. Now, here's what I'm thinking, and this is one for you to ponder and see if it's worth your time, and all the wonderful farmers like yourselves. They're talking about the gas price going up and people going to have to put their gas off. Now, what would be better than lovely warm woolen clothing like we had 200 years ago?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm into?
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I would try and wear a little that sort of thing.
And I think if we get everyone wearing wool again, tweed jackets, woolen trousers, woolen drawers, woolen socks, heavy jumpers, Aran jumpers, all the rest of it. Once you get that lot on, you know yourself, because you do a lot of outside work, you can be roasting hot on a winter's day.
Yes, that's definitely it.
You think, oh, if I need a cup of tea, I'm just sweating out here in this boiler suit with this hat on.
Yes, definitely.
You see, and I think we need to be looking at that. I think if we're going to be hit with punitive measures, we have to say, okay, how can we push back? And obviously, I mean, in Macleod Towers, the heat will be going off.
Yes, definitely.
But, if I'm paying another 200 quid, then I'll be saving 200 quid somewhere.
Yes, that'll be a saving to you as well.
Here's a guy called Craig M. says, away you go and listen to yourself. Could you imagine the wee Neds walking about with a woolly jumper? Craig, if the wee Neds are going to freeze to death, I think they'd be very glad of a woolly jumper. Can I refer you to the wonderful song, The Coat of Many Colours?
Yes, that's a good song.
Yeah.
But,
so can I do two things while you're on? Can I thank you very, very much for all your hard work, every single one of your ilk and like? Can I thank you for putting up with all the pressures that you get sent by a lot of officials who don't understand your work and your life?
Thank you very much, Scott. That really does mean a lot.
And when you get up in the morning and you look at the hills and you've got the lambs and the piglets and you're going to collect some eggs for your breakfast, just think, I am one of the most important people in the world because I feed the people.
Yeah. Well, Scotty, it was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you very much for having me on.
You too, sir, and we'll catch up soon in Dinky-Doo.
Yeah. Dinky-Doo. Bye-bye.
Top man, ta-ra now, there we are. A farmer from Northern Ireland. Scotty, how do you phone in? You'll see the number in front of you. Scotty, should they ban fireworks? Yes, they should. You're live at Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scotty, it's me again, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn, Dinky-Doo.
Scotty, there's some insulting Charlies on tonight, isn't there?
Yeah, oh yes, there's some cheeky chat.
You know the one...
LaHoob says a very classy call, that one.
Scotty, you know the one with 3 letters in the name, not mentioning no names.
No mentioning no names, no.
They're throwing one or two... He's rang your show up earlier, and they're putting one or two cheeky comments on regarding your callers.
Well, maybe ban him.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, I've got him here. Well, maybe ban him.
Yeah. You called me a numpty earlier, Scotty, apparently.
How dare anyone call you a numpty? You've said here, who you calling a muppet?
I think he came on for about 15, 20 seconds, then went off.
Yeah, we had to dump him, probably. Too many half-wits on here.
Maybe he's had one.
There's the wonderful Ian, says West Monster. Absolutely.
Scotty, I don't think one or two of these people know which way toilet seats is, to be honest.
Matt says, Ronnie, calm it down, pal. Absolutely. This is a civilized community. I'm not wanting any of your toxic behaviour. Isn't that great?
I think as soon as new callers come on, they seem to get a little bit jealous, don't they?
They get a wee bit full of themselves.
You know, because we're phoning up constantly and we're having a good old
chat.
And I think there's a bit of jealousy, a bit of green-eyed monster in there. But you know I'm talking to.
Yes. Yes, I do. Absolutely.
I'm not going to rise to his level anyway, so it's...
No. What do you mean rise to his level? You mean go down to his level?
Scotty, I'm not going to sink to his level.
No, you are not sinking. Because remember, if you were in the gutter, he would be looking up at you.
He must know I'm there then, won't he, Scotty?
He'd be looking up at you, lad.
Scotty, this person must know that I'm there, to be honest, otherwise...
Here's Joe. Hang on 2 seconds, Glenn. Here's Joel. Joel says, I can't see the Colin thing. Joel, what you need to do, below my TikTok bio, you'll see a live link to the YouTube channel. Get on that, tap the bell, and come and join us. Sorry about that, Glenn. I just have to tell them all.
They should be following comments, these YouTube chatters.
They should do, absolutely. That's what it's all about.
I think, like I said, it's best to just... rise above it and just let them just have the little...
Yeah, there they are. Go on yourself, Glenn. Rise above it, pal.
Have the 2 pence, Scotty, definitely.
That's what it's about. Get the 2 pence in, I say. And listen, a big dinky do to you.
Dinky do, Scotty. And if you can come on and come up with an intelligent conversation, Scotty, and have a good chat with you.
Well, don't hold your breath.
Scotty, but if not...
The game's up.
My expectations on that person are just as low as they get anyway.
I'll note that, Glenn. Dinky do, la. Dinky do. Fantastic. Oh, you're live at Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Good evening, Scotty. It's Charlie.
Charlie, how lovely to hear you. How are you?
I'm very well. Dinky do.
Are you a dinky do to you? Are you enjoying the phone in?
I am. I'm very indeed. You know what, Scotty? On Thursday night, you had a really terrible time. A lot of people calling me and hanging up and stuff like that.
Oh, that stuff at the start, that was shocking.
It was.
These people are a disgrace, but I do understand these are also poor souls. And they're poor souls because they can't, unlike your good self, they can't hold a conversation.
Exactly, Scotty, and that's exactly what you said, and it's a shame for them, and, see, when I thought about it, I was driving in the car, I was seeing my partner, I was taking him to his work. He's a carer, and he does a lot of fantastic work, of course. And when I said to Jerry, I said, you know what, Scotty's actually going to turn up a lot tonight because a lot of people are dialing and dialing. And I thought to myself, bring back the Bakelite phone line.
Yes, now you're talking.
Bring back the Bakelite, and that way they would get fed up.
Yeah, they would. They'll get fed up anyway because they're toast. They're straight down the Swanee.
Yes, absolutely, Scotty. And I know you blocked them.
We take no prisoners on here, and they'll get a lifetime ban on their number.
Yes, that's it. And if they can't hold a conversation, Scotty, then that's a shame for them.
That is their problem. Remember, that is their problem. They've got enough on their plate just being them. They wish they were you.
Absolutely. And who are we, Scotty?
Who are we? Well, we are us. And that's very powerful.
Yes, it is. Now, Scotty, this evening, what I would like to speak to you about is now we've got over the COVID.
Yeah, Charlie, just before you go on, wait to read you this. Johnny G365, wow, Scotty McClue. This takes me back years and years on Scott FM.
Yes.
Isn't that fabulous?
Yes, Scotty, I listen to you in Scott FM.
This means it's working, Charlie.
It is. And you know what, Scotty? You must actually look and think to yourself, how remarkable is it? Nowadays you've got TikTok, you've got Facebook, you've got YouTube, and all these, and you can actually see. I mean, I could, FaceTime me and stuff like that. All that technology, that way back when you were a continuator.
They didn't have it.
They didn't.
No.
How would you? I'm not here to ask you because you're here to ask the questions.
No, I don't mind, Charlie. No, anything you want to know, you're very welcome.
Yeah, but would you have thought, that even back then, would you have thought that was, a hindsight?
Well, can I tell you, McClue has always been ahead of his time. I know I look like some old fool, but I can tell you, I'm not just an athlete. I'm a black belt in karaoke and, all these things. And I've always been ahead of my time. And I'll tell you, in 1998, I had a conversation with a specialist about the internet. And I said, how do we go about this? He said, what I'm going to do, I was on Century Radio in Manchester. Now, you couldn't really get a bigger local radio station than that. 5.5 million people, right? So I said to him, he said, what I'm going to do for you is just set up a page on the internet. And he did that. And I said, what's going on? He said, my gosh. He says, you want to see the traffic on this page tonight. And I said to him, because in those days it was all that dial-up, bloop, 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 bloop. And you couldn't speak over the internet. There was no what you call VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. So you couldn't speak over the internet. So I said, and they said, that'll never come in. So, I was going on to all sorts of radio stations across the country, and we were going on ISDN. Yeah? So it was superb. It was so clear. It was a brilliant technology. That got faded out, and now we have Voice over Internet Protocol. That's what you and I are talking on tonight, and we're right around the globe.
Yes, and Scotty, what a great opportunity that is, and how an advancement of technology.
Yep.
That has to come.
And the traffic, and there were millions. My website, which I don't use much now, we had our own forum, and it was huge. So Scotty-McClue.com, www.scotty-mcclue.com. If you go on to that, the traffic, 10 million people have had a look at that site.
Yes, and you know what, Scotty? And there's no reason why they won't be getting on here, because, you are Lotus.
Flotty, I am Flotai.
Flotai, sorry, I'm saying Lotus.
You're thinking POTUS, you're thinking the President of the United States.
I apologize, Scotty.
That's POTUS. No, not at all. I don't mind being called. I'll sit in for Donald Trump and keep the seat warm till he comes back.
Well, you know what, Scotty? It's always a pleasure speaking to you, and I'm not going to be selfish and let other people speak. And I would say thank you, but it was nice speaking to you again. And honestly, I actually felt for you in Thursday night.
No, don't you worry. See, here's a guy here who says Scott talks one amount a pish. Now, there's somebody with a very, very tiny mind.
Yes, exactly.
He can't understand a word I'm saying, so therefore, he's in the right and we're all in the wrong.
Exactly, Scotty. And you know what? To finish, for B, they cannot speak, or B, they cannot be heard.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. I was only bringing that to attention out of interest, because that's the blame culture. He's trying to project his lack of knowledge and understanding, his ignorance, onto everyone else.
Exactly.
So he needs to own his own ignorance, and that's where McClue comes in and tells him.
Yes, and again, just to finish, Scotty, for B, they cannot phone up. B is shy, and shy kids don't get cake.
Absolutely, you're talking my language. Dinky Doola.
Dinky dude, Scotty.
Top man, Charlie. Privileged talking to you. Ta-ra-la. There we are. Fantastic. To the telephones, folks, as quickly as possible. Time is tight. We've got 15 minutes. Abdul goes down the Swanee. Yes, he does. No doubt about that. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Hello?
Dinky Doo.
Dinky Doo, who's that?
It's TikTok.
TikTok, how lovely to have you with us. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, yes, lovely to have you with us.
How are you?
Very well, absolutely. Very, very busy tonight.
Yes.
What can I do for you? He doesn't know. He's laughing at himself. Must have caught sight of himself in the mirror. You're live at Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
It's me, David. How are you? All right?
David, how lovely to hear you. Thank goodness you've come on.
I mean, see that text there? Someone saying you talk a lot of PISH.
Yes, a lot of pash.
That's as bad as that mad Derek.
Yeah, that mad Derek that was on saying you were boring, and he's the most tedious man. But at least we kept him on tonight. We're making him a lot more confident.
Well, I mean, it might be, I think he's been actually fantasizing about me, you know. I don't.
Well, yes, he might just fancy you. You just never know.
Last night I was.
You know what I mean? He's there just gazing at you with misty eyes, and then somebody says, "Do you fancy David?" He goes, "Oh no, he's boring," because he thinks, "Whoa, I've got hands up here." Woo!
He's starting on Cream and Glen.
Yes, all that stuff. David, rest assured, he wishes he was you.
Exactly.
Yes.
He would like to kiss me all over.
He just loves you. He would love to be you.
Last week was interesting. I caught on right on because I had friends in, was having a kind of wee party, and I was shocked to find that you was on for 2 hours.
Who was on for 2 hours?
You last night.
Oh, I was on for 2 hours last night, yes. What we did was we went off after an hour and came back up again.
That was amazing. I know. I was absolutely shocked. That's good. You're doing a great job.
Are you loving it?
Oh, you know I do. And I was absolutely loving. I should have phoned in because I came on too late. You know what I mean?
I'm laughing. There was a guy talking tonight and he's seeing the figures for one platform.
Brilliant.
One platform. And last night on the TikTok, we had 2,000 people.
That's amazing.
So that's no bad. And we've just started. Remember, David, we genuinely haven't even scratched the surface yet.
No, I know. And I'm glad that guy phoned in, nice gentleman, about, you know, how things have changed the internet. It's amazing. That is fabulous.
But he is quite right. And I can remember the guy telling me, he said, "You see, Scotty, to explain to you, see, explaining radio to me is no problem. Explaining television's no problem. I have a qualification in television engineering. And explaining all that, but the internet is different." And he said to me, "Scotty, it's like trying to ram a lot of information down one big pipe. And sometimes the pipe can't cope."
No, I'm still learning about it all. I'm learning bits.
Yes. And I think what's magnificent, and it really is magnificent, is the fact that you and I are sitting talking in vision and it's going around the world.
It's absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? Oh, yes, of course.
I mean, they're watching here on the TikTok. They're in Ireland, America, Canada. You know, it's fantastic. The Philippines, Japan, Ireland, France.
Amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was also proud last night. A guy phoned in about his new brother, about the Earth. I like all that.
Oh, yes, listen, it's fascinating. And see, the people that come on and go, "He's an idiot, get him off." You think, no, just as we're saying, they don't understand a different point of view.
Yes, that's correct. I don't understand
You know?
at all, you know what I mean, you know, for instance, gravity. I don't know, gravity would be what, right?
Gravity, well, you see, the thing is, if it is gravity, how come the water doesn't just fall out the oceans?
Well, that's right. You made sense about that last night as well. When I was on the restreaming last night.
Yes, I mean, how does somebody not say, see the other night when the earth spun, we lost the River Clyde. You can walk it straight to Helensburgh now from Greenock.
I think that, okay, I call the earth, I call this big massive globe, right?
Yes.
And we don't rotate 24/7. And it is strange, we're all in this big globe, all these different areas, America, you name it, all the countries, in this wee globe. And in this wee globe, we've got big buildings and the gravity and motors and all these people in the earth.
You wonder if the people that run the earth have put a bit of spin on this.
It's mad. Again, when it spins, we don't feel it. We're actually walking on gravity, but it is spinning, but we're not dizzy.
No, that's it. The old gravity, Newton's third law. Is it what goes up must come down?
There you go. So Scottish gravity, right? So you're a smart man. If we never had that, would we float?
If we hadn't got gravity, you'd be away. Listen, if you were walking home to Knightswood and gravity was taken away, you'd be passing Dumbarton within seconds. You'd be floating, absolutely. See, was that Big Davy just floated by there? Aye. He tried to grab his chimney in the hoose and missed. You could. You could do all that. The only thing I would suggest is if you're having a seat in the lavvy, just hang on. Hang on tight. Both hands on the seat. I've got Betty Joe going, David Disney half go on a bit. How cheeky is that?
I can go on and go on. I mean, for instance, maybe I didn't want gravity, but anyway, someone gave us gravity one day.
Aye.
I never got a chance. I could have said, I really want to float, but I never asked my
I know, and if there's too much laughter going on, people could say, could we have a bit more gravity in here, please?
I mean, I've got a funny mind. Even people who made big buildings, big railways for years ago, big motorways, all these people done motorways, built them centuries ago.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Fantastic. The whole thing's fantastic. Wonderful. I must dash. Lovely to talk to you. And David, thank you again for all your kindness and generosity. You've gone into the GoFundMe page and you're 2 angels. You're now about 5 or 6 angels.
Right, well, what is these angels, Scotty, anyway? What does that mean?
An angel, well, in the theatre, you see, my background's in theatre. And I used to do a lot of acting, and my background's in theatre. And in the theatre, when you go to the theatre, it's all beautiful and glam. And say you've paid maybe 20 quid a ticket, you say, how do they keep this place so beautiful if there's no money? There's very often angels who are unseen business people who run the board of the theatre.
Right,
and they provide the money to the board. So that, very well, people say, how come this happened? That sort of thing. I mean, for instance, there's a wee hospital in Glasgow. You go in there, you'll see a picture of what was his name? Hugh Fraser. Hugh Fraser. Fraser of Allender that used to own House of Fraser. Yes, Hugh Fraser. And young Hugh died quite young. His father wasn't very old either. But the Frasers have been around since about 1815. And they've been in the drapery trade. They were great drapers. And of course, Hugh's father ended up owning Harrods.
See the things that I don't know. You know that? Well, I think you better dash because we're walking around.
He ended up owning Harrods. And, and I was very blessed. I can remember I was looking for an accountant to help out on one of the radio stations. And along came a wonderful gifted gentleman who had been Lord Fraser's accountant.
Right, that's amazing.
Just amazing, you know, and he was the loveliest man, and so interesting because he'd worked right up at the top there. Anyway,
Right.
Hugh Fraser had given a lot of money to this wee hospital,
Right.
you know.
That's wonderful, Scotty. I mean, the things that went on.
And when the Duke of Argyll was selling Iona, the Church of Scotland got it. And somebody said, how did the Church of Scotland manage to get Iona? And you say,
Yeah.
Hugh Fraser bought it for them.
Oh my goodness, it's great.
He was wonderful. He was a very nice man too. He used to own the Herald.
All right, the newspaper, yeah.
I used to own the Herald, aye, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I see.
And I remember reading about some of his business dealings in the Herald, and I was reading them out to a friend of mine in the office, and he goes, just remember who owns that paper.
That was you told us.
That was me told, aye. Just fantastic stuff, you know, but it's so much of Scottish life.
It's great, honestly, amazing.
And they were very, very hard-working people, but they were very, very nice people. And still to this day, you know.
Yeah, well, I've done well tonight. I've been on a wee bit long. That's good.
You've done awful well. You'll be driving them all up the wall. Lovely to hear you.
Oh, no. Oh,
And-
get him up. Get him up.
Get him off. Lots of love to you. Dinky do.
Right, don't forget to send me to go for me, please.
No, but you're so kind. It's so very, very kind of you. And thank you, Davy.
Thank you, my friend.
Dinky do, my dear friend. That's Davy. Bye-bye, Lala. Night-night. That's it. That's Davy. And he very kindly, I was looking for 100 angels at £7.50 each to get us started on the paypal.me/Scotty McClue. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Nobody. Hello, you're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scotty. It's the real TikTok this time.
The real TikTok. Lovely to hear you. That half-witted idiot got short shrift.
Yeah, it seems to have been impersonated earlier on.
Don't you worry about that. You're not being impersonated now.
Yeah, well, you know, you need someone to speak sense, but, you know, at least I can hold a conversation with you, Scotty, unlike the other person.
You certainly can hold a conversation. What's happening with you?
Oh, not a lot, Scotty. Just been working away and just enjoying the autumn air in Scotland. It's, you know, it's getting very cold at the moment and just, you know.
But it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It can't be the autumn time.
The autumn time has got, and the colours, just watch these colours. Magnificent. Fantastic. Right, we're dashing on. Let's just see what's happening here. We've only got a couple of minutes, guys. There's Big Ian. Dinky do, Big Ian. Lovely to have you with us. There we are. Dinky do. All right, Scotty, what's happening? Says Rab. Bye, Davy. Take care, says D. Bye, Davy, babe. D, never. We won't be taken over by the new bias. We will not. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Dinky do. Hello? Hello, you're live on Scotty's phone in.
Hello, Scotty. This is Peter from Gavin
Peter from Gavin, lovely to hear you.
How are you? Thank you, Scotty.
Very dinky do and very much appreciating your call.
No problem, Scotty. Just to ask, Scotty, can you just point out there's people in the chat being very, very disrespectful to her. I think you might need to do something about it.
Right. I shall step in there and see what is what. And thank you for bringing it to my attention, Peter. Much appreciated. There we go. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
All right, Scotty, it's Rob.
Rob, how you doing, my boy?
I hope you're keeping well, mate.
I am better for hearing you, Rob, and that's great that you managed to get through.
Well, I was surprised.
No, it's just been one call after another tonight.
I know, mate, you're always busy.
But it's good. It's good. And to think we're 5 weeks old, Peter. Rab, sorry, Peter.
My name's not Peter.
No, somebody's just put well done, Peter, here. And that's why I got carried away there.
Well, tell Peter all the best and all.
All the best from Rab.
See your man there. I was talking about coming to Scotland and staying in Scotland. Where did he think he's going?
Exactly. Where does he think he is going?
Scotland is...
Hang on a sec. I'm going to have to say bye-bye to the TikTokers. Oh my goodness me. Bye-bye, TikTokers. There we go. Right, that's it.